Everyone, I'm the Nerd Doctor here to diagnose what's wrong with your RPG game and here to help you fix it. And today's diagnosis is you're not using the right tools for your GM prep. So this video goes out to my DMs up there. So and when I say you're not using the right tools, I mean you're probably using a lot of different tools from a lot of different websites. That's really what it generally comes down to. And this is a key design philosophy for me in DC20 Forge is I want it to be a one-stop shop for you and all your information. So there's three pillars that I'm going to be talking about when it comes to the pages that are going to support you as a DM on DC20 Forge. And so this is system agnostic. So even if you don't play DC20, you could still use these three pages and get the most out of your life and most out of your game. So the three pillars are the world builder, the campaign builder, and then the DM screen. Now we obviously have the encounter builder. I've mentioned that before. You could call that a fourth pillar. Absolutely useful page and tool, but I just want to go into this. And why do you get so many more pages as a DM? Because you have so much more to do. That's why. So let's start off with the world builder. So Planetos is the world that I built. It is based on George R.R. Martin's Westeros and all of that. I know the Planetos isn't the official name. This is unofficial content. This is just me making a game for my players because they want to play in Game of Thrones. So this is where we are playing. Specifically, we are starting off in the in Westeros, in the Iron Isles. And the way this works is you come in here, you can click on a new entity, you can choose what type of entity that is, shoot a parent or root, and it'll automatically place that over here wherever you want it to go. But you can come in here, when I choose locations, this helps bring me to the specific locations, their descriptions, anything that may be going on in that region that could be good narrative structure, because these little pressure and momentum sidebars, these actually tie into the storyboard over on the campaign page. So these questions will automatically populate if you add one of them to your storyboard when you're brainstorming. And I'll get into more detail about all of these pages in future videos, but I'm just giving an overview snapshot of how these three things are connected so that you can get the most enjoyment. So you can come in here, you can do that. One of the really cool things is you can come in here and build a history one, which will create a timeline for you, which is really fun. And you can also come in and you can build and make a world calendar. And these things will all sync up to the DM screen. But first, let's head over to the campaign page. So the campaign page, obviously when you start a campaign, I've been through a few quick videos of all of this, but I want to show you specifically how these are connected. Let me go back real quick to the Iron Isles. So this is the game that I'm starting to run with my players. So I can come in here and I can set any map that, I can upload one, or I can set any map that I put in my world builder will connect to your campaign. So specifically, we're starting off in the Iron Isles, and actually, most specifically, my players are starting off in the town of Pike. So basically, let me go to Pike. So they are starting off in Pike, and I can add pins on here. I haven't done so yet, but even if I don't want to put any pins on here or want to make them hidden to my players, I absolutely can. And then I can. Players can also come in and add pins, because when you record stories, you can either just do quick sessions and type them all up, and you can add these different key moments, key NPCs, magic items, locations, anything. You can add those in there, and whether you recorded them and got them from a recording or you type them up, you can come in here and you can click on a location. Let me go ahead and add a pin and type in that information about that pin, and then you can link it to something that happened in your game, whether it's an NPC, a faction, or a location, in case you kind of want to note that. And if you as a DM feel like it's actually important and it has an effect on your world and you want it to change your world and involve it, you can click Save to Entity, which will say, like, this would save to Pike in my world map. Just as a thing that I could have other players who maybe interact in a later timeline of my world, they can do that there. You can also come in and pull the setting description of these individual maps. You can, it's like if I wanted to, I could go in and click Edit, and then this will change the setting description to the one that I've actually written about Pike, player facing, so that when I'm starting a game with my players, they can go in and have a quick read about it. But if I just wanted them to give them a sense of the whole world, or let's just say Westeros in general, because you're trying to you're trying to have them kind of basically whittle it down to where do you want to play, where do you want to start off. You can start them off, let's zoom out a little bit, but you can start them off, they can come here and they can click these individual nodes and they can read about those locations, decide if that's where they want to go, and this is player facing right now in the campaign. If they're already invited and added into it, then you can come in and you can go, okay, or you guys want to start in the Riverlands. Okay, so let's change the map to the Riverlands, and here's some of the different factions that are on in the Riverlands, and see what all those are about. And again, great stuff. You can link a world calendar, so if there's something that you want to link it to, you can. I have done that over here in my Adventures of Pangea page. That calendar is linked right here. You can type in factions, but what are these other things? What is the story overview and whatnot? So big, and I've said this many times, but you can come in here and you can type it up, or you can upload an audio and it'll extract information. I'm just trying to give you an example of that. My Curse of Strahd. We have tons of sessions already in. I have a few audio recordings I haven't gone and approved of just yet to save to these sessions. But when you click on more, you can get a session narrative from it. You can read just a quick snapshot of the story progression, key events, combat encounters, important NPCs. All of that is right there. And then on top of that, you have this journal. So this is for the players. You can do it as a GM too, but if there's stuff that is relevant to them, that's important to their character, that they want to track and remember, they can come in after the fact. They can add those important NPCs and everything from the extracted from the recordings or typed up manually and do all that. You've got a session calendar you can use to help organize your sessions, who's available what days, a chat. This chat also works in the actual character sheet, so if you're playing DC20, you can have that chat open and talk to individual people or to the DM secretly. You can manage your content, decide as a DM like what content do you want them to be able to use? Are there certain rules that you want to avoid? Maybe you don't want them to be able to play an artificer, so you remove that as an option. You can also manage custom creations. So in my Westeros game, I made the children ancestry. It's customized from different ancestries that already exist in DC20, but I just wanted them to have that as an option, specifically. So if anyone wanted to play a child of the forest, they could. You can also set player roles. So if I wanted a co-DM, maybe two of us are going to take turns running it. There's different tools that you can access in the campaign, and that now gives the co-DM the ability to do that as well. Scribe is also someone, if they're responsible for recording the sessions, they can come in and upload them. It all works off the DM credits, when their audio credits when they use it, but just so you know there. If these guys had character sheets, you can click into them and see more information about their individual characters. As I said, there's the storyboard. You can come in here and let me just give you an example. Let me go back to Iron Isles real quick. So storyboard, if I wanted to add a node, I'm just going to use an example of a location real quick. Location, I can't read. Let's just say Pike, right? That's what I did, Pike. Drops in the notes right there and auto answers those questions that I answered already. So I can come in here, I can add Pike in here, and there you go. Obviously there's some HTML reading and I want to be able to expand and read that, so I'll probably go in and fix that. But just shows you, like, you can come in here and you can connect these to how do these different factions connect to Pike in different ways. But it's just meant for brainstorming. What the analysis, AI analysis does is if you click it, is I've built in these concept of faction rules, and you can click the question mark here at the top to read more about them. But this concept that it helps, like, just answering these certain questions just gives you, thinking in certain ways that are going to help you kind of add pressure and momentum into your campaign to create political intrigue, or really just kind of, if something's happening, it gives you a reason, like, to how that can affect your story, how it can affect the world, because that's really ultimately what you want. You want players to be in a world that they can affect. That's what makes them so memorable. And so those questions just help answer those. What are they in charge of? What happens if things change? And stuff like that. But the AI analysis kind of runs in and reads your answers to those questions, and it can help comes up, like, if you're really just like brain dead and you can't brainstorm, you can't think of something, this just helps kind of maybe some situations that can happen that can add that pressure, that momentum, or create a hook to get your players involved with something if you just really run into a dead end. And then your builder is just how you build your scenes. As I said, the DC20 Coaches scene builder is really what inspired this whole model. But moving on to the DM screen, because that's where this is going to come into play. But then you have, as a DM, customize the DM screen. Now all of this is built for DC20. You can create your own custom widgets and all of that. If you're playing on a different system, you can run your encounters from here. Really cool. You can look up the lore of your world. So like the whole concept of when I was building this is I wanted that if you're sitting in the DM screen, you don't need to leave the DM screen page in order to find something. If you want to look up the lore of your world, there. If you want to look up rules, there. You want random generators, there. You want to Oracle answer to the yes or no question, it's there. If you want access to your calendar and progress that calendar by date, you can do that. You want ideas how monster rolls when you're working in the encounter sheet or the encounter runner. You've got your actions, you've got your conditions, you've got your monster rolls, all right there. You got your scenes, next tab over. You can, if you want to specifically go to encounters, you can run your encounter from there. But the encounter will drop to every single page so that you don't ever have to lose track of that. And so that's basically this is built into those are your 3 pillars. And of course, if you want to count the 4th pillar, which is the encounter builder, you can come over to the encounter builder, build that so that you can save that to your DM screen, do all of that. And then of course there's your custom builders. You can make custom monsters, you can make custom magic items, classes, not spells and maneuvers yet, but that is on the docket. But that is where these tools are all coming into play for a DM. I want you to be able to have everything you need in this one place. The only thing that I don't have is 2 things. I don't have a way to build maps, obviously, and 2, I don't have a way to run virtually. But sneak peek that there is some plans with the VTT company to be able to access all of this stuff onto their system. So just letting you know that little quick surprise. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. Just showing you, highlighting some of the tools that you can use as a DM. If you are interested in my my Planetos, my Westeros, what I've built in there, or the children, both of those are available on Community Homebrew. It doesn't cost anything. Again, it's just fan-based content. It's not there to make a buck. It's just, okay, this is just what I put together. This is Age of Heroes run. This is before the wall, before everything. This is just my own little inspiration of how, like, just different factions and how they are affecting the world at that time. But nothing meant to be game changing. It's all canon. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed the diagnosis and the prescription to help you run better games. Again, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And if you want to help support more of this, you can either subscribe and be a subscriber to the website, or you can head over to our Patreon. You can get access to a subscription there, but it just charges a little bit more to help me fund this project and bring you ever improving this website and improving the features. But again, thanks again for listening, guys. Stay clever and play smarter.